Oh, Manchester United have lost 4-0 at Anfield, took an absolute battering today. Another dent in Manchester United's hopes of Champions League football, but let's be real, most Manchester United fans expected what we witnessed at Anfield today. And it was just, it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. Almost 10 years since Manchester United have won the league. You know, since Sir Alex Ferguson's left, we've been nothing but on the decline. Liverpool have been a team on the up under Jurgen Klopp. And you look at the contrast between the two sides at the moment, it's embarrassing. You had Jordan Henderson rolling the ball under his foot in the first half. You had the goalkeeper doing Cruyff turns and flicks. You had all sorts going on in there. Thiago, who's a supremely talented midfield, had the time of his life. He had so much space, he could just knock the ball around at will. Manchester United was shocking, diabolical, poor. And it's the same old things week in, week out. Erik ten Hag has got a huge, huge job on his hands when it comes to Manchester United. And that includes getting rid of a lot of players, working with some of the players that will stick around at Manchester United, but most importantly, bringing players in that will fit his style of play and the way he wants to play going forward. Because at the moment, Ten Hag is wanting high press, high energy football, and he's not getting it because these players aren't fit or good enough. And you look out there today, you had a selection of players who aren't going to be here next season due to contractual transfer reasons in the likes of Lingard, Paul Pogba, etc. And then you had players that shouldn't be here, aren't good enough to be here. Phil Jones, Harry Maguire, etc. It's a mix of players that are lucky to be at Manchester United and are on their way out. How can you expect commitment from this team? How can you expect a team that's going to dig their heels in, roll their sleeves up and scrap at Anfield? You can't. You just can't. And it's not about whether we're good enough or not. Because over the years, Manchester United have been the best side in the league. And we've gone to Anfield and Liverpool have come to Old Trafford, put scraps up with poor teams because they understood the occasion. And before the game, you had Harry Maguire, our captain, saying that he didn't feel a motivation in trying to deny Liverpool the opportunity to win things or be successful. Now, I understand why you say that, but I also feel it says a lot about our captain. And that is one thing that Erik ten Hag has to change when he comes in. We're lacking leadership on the pitch, in the dressing room. We saw it in the tunnel against Norwich. And ultimately, he's not a good enough footballer. You know, 2 of the goals today came because of his errors. And look, I'm not pointing fingers at just Harry Maguire because a whole load of them in that back line weren't good enough. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, not good enough. First touch, second touch is a tackle. You know, overplaying things. Victor Lindelof, Phil Jones, not at the races. Diogo Dalot getting torn apart. The midfield non-existent. Hannibal Mejbri come on with about 5 minutes to go. He was the only one that was running into people. We've all seen that meme of Roy Keane, you know, just go on, hit somebody, make myself feel better. It's a simple thing, but we're fans. We want to see you do that. This means something to us. Even if we ain't got hopes of winning the league or we haven't got hopes of really winning anything this season, Manchester United against Liverpool is still a big fixture to the fans. Turn up and play like it means something. And we just haven't done that. And you could argue that's the problem. If you get an interim manager, he's always going to be interim. The players that aren't going to be here next season don't really care. The players that are going to be here next season don't really care as well because he's not going to be their manager. But Ralph is exposing the issues at United at the moment. And whether he says it out loud in an interview or whether he puts the team out there to perform and they don't, he's exposing all the issues. And we have got such a long way to go to be able to bridge the gap between Manchester United, where we are currently, and catching up to the likes of Chelsea, Liverpool and City. We've got an awfully long way to go. And we have to see wholesale changes in the boardroom and in the directors, with the way they run things, with the way they support the manager, with the way they do transfers, with the way they do deals, etc. We need that to change. But we also need a whole lot to change on the pitch and the culture at the club as well. It's just accepting a failure at Manchester United, at boardroom level, at playing staff level. Every single time the culture at the club is wrong, rewarding players that have failed with multi-year contracts, allowing contracts to run down. You know, we've seen it all. We gave Phil Jones a contract ages ago. We gave Mourinho a contract just before he got sacked. The same with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We do it constantly. And then there's players that want to get out of there. We can't get their contract renewed. Guess what we let them do? Run their contract down. The club is just run in a backwards manner at the moment, with long-term objectives out of the window. Everything is just short-term. And we used to laugh at the likes of Arsenal and that when they were under Wenger and, they're taking selfies when they finished top 4 and all that. That's the kind of culture we've cultivated at Manchester United, and it all needs to change. And we need to give Ten Hag the support to be able to do that. Like I've said it constantly as well about Cristiano Ronaldo, and fought obviously with his family at this difficult time for him. He didn't play today, but a lot of people have said Cristiano Ronaldo's the problem at Manchester United. Cristiano Ronaldo ain't the problem at Man United. He just makes the problems at Man United stand out like a sore thumb, because when he's in there demanding the most, when he's in the dressing room demanding excellence, when he's in the dressing room demanding that all his teammates live up to the standards and the expectation at Manchester United, and they can't do it, and they can't live up to those, that's not a him problem, that's a them problem. And you need to weed those attitudes out of the dressing room. You also look at, you can say players aren't good enough, this, that, and the other. But if you look at some of the players that we're seeing outperform us week in, week out, it comes down to application. It comes down to coaching. And again, we've got that wrong far too many times. So it's now time for Manchester United to look at what is in front of them. And what is in front of them is 10 years without a trophy, without a league title, 5 years without a trophy. Man City and Liverpool are now better than us. And the owners and the people within the club need to look at that as a challenge. How do we get ourselves back there? Because at the moment, all we're doing is treading water in 5th, 6th, flittering between a Europa League team and a Champions League team. And that's not good enough. And it might just be what the owners want. It might just be that, and that's why you see protests against the owners, and rightly so. But something has to change at Manchester United. And Ten Hag, he's talented, he's got great potential, all those things. But one man isn't going to change the way this club functions, the culture at this club. We need it to change from top to bottom. We need leadership on the pitch. We need leadership from manager, but we need leadership from the boardroom as well. If you look at Liverpool, and today, obviously, we're looking at Liverpool and City because those are the teams that are best. Yes, they have Pep and Klopp, who are great managers. In my opinion, Klopp's the best in the world. Yes, they have great, football managers and coaches, but they've also got the recruitment staff around them and everybody else around them. So, for me, it shows you we've got a long way to go. But also, it shows you how spineless this team is. Just spineless, because we turned up at Anfield, we let them have it easy, and we didn't even put up a fight. And that's what hurts the most, because at least fight, at least scrap, at least look hurt. It didn't even look like it bothered them. They didn't look like they had any pride in it, or, just like, bruv, this is hurting, man. Like Keno says, go out there, hurt someone, make yourself feel better. We didn't even see that. Spineless Manchester United. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you're liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Couldn't even put a spanner in their title works. What a joke. See you in a bit.